Hello, I'm Lauren Green, and you're in the Strategy Room. Democratic presidential hopefuls Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton squared off in a feisty debate last night in Brooklyn, New York, butting heads over wages, Wall Street, and foreign policy. This ahead of a critical contest in New York as primary voters head to the polls April 19th. Joining me now with analysis are Iona College professor Jeanne Zaino and Liz Peek, columnist for the Fiscal Times. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Okay, Liz, let me start with you. So your thoughts on the debate last night. What did you think?
Same material, but louder. Basically, this is, I think, the 9th debate between these two individuals. In the beginning, there were a couple of others. We've already forgotten those names. No, I'm just kidding. Martin O'Malley and a couple of others. But basically, I'd say nothing terribly new came out. I thought it was interesting that Sanders went after Clinton on the Israel issue, arguing for a more even-handed approach to Palestinians and Israelis. And that is something that I think is pretty controversial, and I think it has come up before, but I'm surprised that that hasn't gotten a little bit more press. He's talking basically about how there really can't be a successful peace process unless the United States is viewed as a more neutral arbiter, and something that Hillary Clinton kind of pushed back on and said, they need to know that we are pro-Israel all the time, and that wasn't exactly her words. But I thought that was interesting. Otherwise, it's the same old, accusations that Hillary is in the pocket of Wall Street, so
not a whole lot that was new, you thought?
No,
right?
I really don't think so.
And Jeanne, Liz talked about something like a change of tone. I mean, was there a change of tone here, or was it the same but louder?
There was a change of tone. If you compare it to the previous debates, they were less feisty, and I think it makes sense. Look, we're a few days out of New York. The primary is on the 19th. This is a must-win, really, for both of them. If Bernie Sanders doesn't win, he has no shot of getting the nomination. If she doesn't win, her campaign is going to, absolutely be in disarray because she has got to win her home state. So it's a must-win, and I think that explains how tense it has gotten. I thought it was a good showcasing of the challenges they both face. Him on the one hand, Bernie Sanders on the one hand, who is almost like this Don Quixote. He talks about all these grand schemes, and as she rightly points out, how are you going to do these things you're promising the moon, how can you deliver? And he rightly points out about her that you have really questionable judgment, and can we trust you? And those are things that really are weighing on Democrats. So I think in both cases, I think we got to see that. But I have to agree with Liz. I don't think in the end it's going to change much on the ground in terms of support. Like if you're a Bernie supporter, that wasn't going to change your mind.
And that's exactly the next question, because the idea that these debates are supposed to reveal the candidates and to help you make a decision. And Liz, did anybody's mind get changed? I mean, when you listen to the candidates last night, every time something Hillary said please their supporters, you'd get a loud applause. The same thing for Bernie. So did anybody's mind get changed?
I doubt it very much. I think what more likely changes minds and hearts is not these debates where as I say, they're kind of going over the same ground, and it's feisty or whatever. I think these rallies that Bernie Sanders has, where he turns out sometimes tens of thousands of people who've never seen him in action, who don't really know, maybe aren't that engaged in the process. My guess is if you're engaged in the process, you go to the debate. If you're not, you show up at Washington Square Park, and Sanders delivers one of these barn burner sort of accusations writ large of the American process and Democrat politics as run by the machine, Clintons, et cetera, and you're pretty inspired. I don't think that happens at the debates.
The problem is that those people maybe have been inspired for the last few months can't vote anyway because they didn't register
to
vote for
the
primary.
That is probably true.
Now, the next thing I want to move on to, though, is that Bernie Sanders is now in Rome, in the Vatican, and he is with to address the Pontifical Academy of Social Sciences and hopefully meet the Pope. There is always a question about whether he's going to meet the Pope. But, Jeanne, what do you make of this? He's going there, an 8-hour flight, to make a 10-minute speech and then come back. What do you make of this?
I can understand his interest. I mean, when the Pope was here, Bernie Sanders was obviously moved by his message. So I can completely understand him wanting to go. I don't, from a political, strategic point, understand him actually going. When you have, just a few hours left, and this is really a do or die for you, you need to be on the ground. And, I felt the same way, by the way, about Hillary Clinton going to Florida for the fundraiser earlier this week. you can't leave the state. You need to be on the ground. You know, Bernie Sanders, as Liz mentioned, he does amazing when he's on the ground. But now you've left the state and you've left it completely open to the Clintons to go through the city, through the states, shouting their message. So I don't understand him doing it. I think it may be a mistake.
State, but he's still on TV, and people in New York are still watching. Liz, I mean, it was a good decision to make. I mean, I think it's very interesting how he's appealing to, or he's trying to appeal to a religious base.
He is the ideological first cousin of Pope Francis, let's face it. I mean, everything that the two of them says is so neatly tied together. They are both, you know, in favor of capitalism up to the point where it actually hurts people via a poor environment, et cetera. Bernie Sanders is going after, I suppose, the Catholic vote, but more importantly, the vote of people who really are sort of ideologically in that camp, the populist, slightly anti-capitalist camp, which Pope Francis really is. I mean, he is really left-leaning. And again, I mean, I agree with Jeanne. I think it was a little bit of a nuts idea to do this. And particularly if he doesn't see the Pope, then it will be viewed as, well, gosh, he tried to, and it was a disappointing failure, as opposed to what a cool opportunity to speak in front of this think tank, which is very leftward.
All right. I want to thank you so much, Jeanne and Liz.
Thank you.
For being here. For complete coverage of the 2016 election, go to foxnews.com. I'm Lauren Green, and thanks for watching.